Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
I could do this in my sleep.
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
I want that bird ready in 3 mics. Relay those coordinates. Things all here. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up and grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone. Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
Let's get this done. Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster. Your team leader. Set a drop point for your squad, soldier. Squad mates redeploying. Well done.
Our counter UAV is active. Deploy the counter UAV.
Requesting close air. Target marked. Target area marked. You're clear hot.
Find cover.
You got gas moving in. Positive ID on the bounty targets. Hunt them down. Get your squad to the safe zone. No one gets left behind. All bounty targets are destroyed. Hell of a job. Enemies dropping into the AO.
Moving. Cancel my last. Planting mine.
Squad mates redeploying. Well done.
Cancel that shit.
Hostile counter
Down.
Hostile
Marking the rest
eliminated.
of them.
Over here.
On my feet. I'm good. Just needed
Rogue
electrolytes.
signal broadcast detected. Encrypted signal confirmed. To decode the signal, prioritize opening root caches. You've got reinforcements inbound.
Throwing thermite.
Over here.
Requesting fire mission.
strike near your
Target marked.
position. Copy. Mortar strike inbound now.
We're outside the top squads. Let's push harder to break in. Squad mates back on station. Good work.
Hit Rockman.
You've got reinforcements inbound.
Impact. No hit.
Top-notch performance. Transmit coordinates to a valuable weapon crate now. Gas is inbound. Enemy soldier incoming. Kill confirmed.
Won't happen again.
Located the rest of them.
Hostile Guardian is active.
You're back on station. Go get that. The weapon crate is in enemy hands. They claimed it.
Hostile Guardian has been deployed.
Fire sale is active. Buy station prices are adjusted. Your squad mates redeploying. Well done.
Requesting close air. Target marked.
Copy. Longbow 3-1 on approach. Strike inbound.
Got 10 squads active in the field.
Setting mine.
about to close. Gas is closing in. All squad members are in the safe zone. Fire sales done. Prices are back to normal. Regaining operation.
I could use a medkit.
There are 24 enemies active. Kill them all.
Fucking campers, dude. Get a fucking no integrity, dude. Even in a video game. Fucking camper, bitch.
Stand by for redeployment. As closed, no more second chances. Be advised, Resurgence is no longer active. This is the key. Supply crates are restocked. Advise you load up now. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. We've got reinforcements inbound. Use this time for some target practice. Real thing's coming soon. Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Prep for dust off. We're up in 3 mics. Let's move. Here we are. Head shed gave the green light. We're deploying you to the front lines. You're up. Grab your chutes. Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
I'll see you on the other side. Resurgence. Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster.
Hostile cluster mine detected.
Target area marked. You're clean, huh?
Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
Hostile mosquitoid online. Friendly precision airstrike inbound.
Yeah, I'm glad you got splacked out here, dude. What the fuck, bro?
Your squad mate's gone MIA. We're reducing your redeployment time.
Then the bitch runs off. Fucking cunt.
Disturbing, but they're telling you all these wild details.
Well, if y'all go to Predator Posters on Rumble, PREDATOR space POHCHERS, you can see for yourself and figure out why. I don't know why. They have this big secret, and we come at them in a non-judgmental way. Obviously, we're judging the crap out of them. We're posting them online and calling the cops. But we come at them in a non-judgmental way, and we really put emphasis on, look, I don't think it's trouble. You need to tell them. We never say we're not going to call the cops. Like, we don't make any promises because we don't want those confessions to be thrown out in a court of law. But, you know, a lot of what they do, because a lot of them are narcissists, we like to minimize their crime and blame others for it, and they seem to take that bait a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also another disturbing video that you guys posted. You guys confronted a middle school teacher who was caught for the second time with infant porn. And it's an interesting one, so I'll play it first and get your reaction to this.
I'll go, right? Obviously, the issue is bigger than some bullshit fake profile that was messaging you yesterday. Your Telegram is, well, boy lover. Okay. We'll get to that. Just hold on. If you had to guess, what would you think is the youngest currently sitting in your class? So you're not requesting it? I have been requesting it, yes. Okay. You need to really say, man, what is it about a 5-year-old getting fucked that turned you on? I need to know. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a neighbor. I got you. Are you sure? You're sure, dude. Yes, you're sure, dude. Dude, you sure? Yeah. What are we doing? I think it's something there's just kind of a situation here. You know, he got arrested for child porn last year. He was in middle school. He kind of relapsed. There's some child porn on his phone, but you said you wouldn't get rid of child porn, right? Okay.
Next week home. You guys know.
I know that he got busted for child porn last year. His Telegram account's called Boys Lover. So we came to his house, interviewed him, and he told us, and you, in front of you on your body camera, that there is child porn on his phone right now. And I believe it's probably probable cause. Ma'am, I just hope he doesn't delete his phone. You got his phone? Okay, who won?
It's nauseating because he was a teacher, but I mean, he just seems stupidity. I just don't understand why he's just openly admitting to it, and then this is the second time he's been caught. What's going on here, Alex?
Yes, it's so funny because I literally got a text from someone that works in Bear County where he got caught, saying he called the AD about this guy, Mark Mello, that he just played. This is very what a coincidence. I literally just got that text as you're playing the clip. But yeah, no, they don't stop doing this. This is the highest, I mean, according to studies and, of course, just common sense, this crime is the highest rate of recidivism out of any crime because, you know, you can be a former gangbanger, you can be a former alcoholic, but you can never be a former pedophile. And, you know, this guy, Mark, we were just on a dating app. We typically don't use dating apps because dating apps, there's people on there looking for just 18 plus. So it's kind of like a lucky draw an unlucky draw if you get somebody who's going after a kid on there. But we just happened to be on a dating app, and he messaged us, and we exchanged phone numbers, and I ran that phone number, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy got arrested, his middle school teacher, and I was like, holy cow. So he arranged a meeting with who he thought was a 14-year-old boy for sex, and what's cool about Texas law is he's checking out last minute of the meeting, but if you still arrange the meeting, he can still get caught with a felony for all solicitation of minors. So if he agreed to the meeting, which made him commit that felony, and I noticed on his Telegram name was Boys Lover, and, you know, if he got caught with child porn last year, what would his name be Boys Lover for on Telegram? So we found his address, we approached him at his home, and that's where he confessed to everything, and then he got arrested for the second time in 2 years, and he bonded out again. He had a $175,000 bond for the solicitation and the child porn charge, and he's currently out on bond for both of his arrests, but I think by the time he gets convicted, it's not going to look good for him.
I mean, how many times do we have to give these people a chance to recommit these crimes again and again and again? I talk about it all the time in blue states, but ultimately it's happening all over the country, and it's sickening. And it's funny because you mentioned the dating site. So I actually went to high school in Long Island, and we had a teacher who was arrested literally a Friday afternoon after all the buses pulled off the schoolyard, and he was arrested because he had actually met with a child, allegedly, and had sex with the child, but his lawyer was able to get everything from his court because the reason was that platform, yes, was platform was trying to check out the big and ultimately, I guess they were able to get off on all the charges and was never convicted of the crime to teach anymore about real estate in New York City. But this is somebody who literally was looking and did have sex with a child and was a teacher in high school. And so it's disturbing. It can happen anywhere else. I can keep an eye out. But there's, and this is the next story that we'll get to, it's heartbreaking. A lot actually kind of lost it today when I was watching it. It's one of the sickest people that you've had an interaction with. It's a man who admits to you that he actually raped his child, his own daughter. And so we're going to play the clip. It's disturbing, but again, we have to listen to these things because we have to talk about this. So we'll get your reaction to it.
Oh, that her. Oh, okay. I've been talking to that person. How old is she? I think she's 2 days. You just know so nonchalant about it? That's fine. Okay. Before we can sending these messages, so I was 4-year-old daughter. How did you get to a mom? It was just a sexual drive. So, a sexual drive for sure, there was sexual drive from 18 to about 2 years. So 4-year-old. Somebody with what specifically about the 4-year-old was it? Innocence, thinking that I could please anybody, didn't matter what age they were. Not only is this a 4-year-old, which is so out of bounds, right? It's your daughter. This is incest. What specifically did you do to your daughter? Almost everything. Did you penetrate? So you had sexual intercourse. This guy is a sex offender, has 7 victims, and he's touching an 8-year-old girl. Yeah? Over there.
how you keep a straight face and don't lose it on people like that. Tell us a little bit about this case, because it's disturbing.
Well, that was in 2021 in August. That was an Oregon. His name's Fred Hendricks Jr. And that was actually the bust that made me realize, hey, I should be a lot more calm with these people, because he divulged all that information because something clicked in my mind, like, wait a second, he's telling me all this and I'm not being judgmental to him. I'm onto something here. So that's kind of what flipped the whole thing for me. But, yeah, so Fred Hendricks, he only served 8 years for molesting his daughter and other people. And he was out of prison, and he was on Instagram messaging who he believed to be an 8-year-old girl. That was us. And he messaged us for 8 months, 9 months. It was never sexual. Then he finally broke and sent a sexual message to us. And he arranged a meeting, so that would be online sexual corruption of a minor in the first degree, because he took an overt step to go meet who thought was an 8-year-old girl in Oregon. And he got arrested for that, and he only got convicted. He served a 3-year sentence. He gets out like in a couple months, sadly.
What more do these boys need to see? My personal beliefs, I believe people like this should be put to death. I don't understand why. We have the admission on video. There was a 9-year-old child, or at the time 9-year-old child, who was raped by this man who's supposed to be her father, her greatest protector. And that's what he admits to. So obviously he's not screwing a fan. There's something wrong with him in the head. And our courts just continue to give these people chance after chance to recommit victims. And it's just disturbing. But when they do all of this, the courts give these people second chances, there's a consequence for it. And that's why I want to get to our next story, because I've spoken about it on Twitter, and I think it's interesting to also just deliver me that there's a Give Send Go page, and so I want to promote this. There is an individual who's being accused. His name is James Spencer, of killing a pedophile he met up with, who was convicted of child pornography in the past. Was convicted of that in the past, but was going to rape another child. And there was no child there, it was James. And James is being accused now of murdering that man. So now on his Give Send Go page, he is raising money there. So, Alex, you're following this case. Tell us a little bit about it, what's going on, and why it's so important for everyone to help James out right now, because he's in need of the assistance.
Well, me and James are both from Houston, Texas, and I'm 23. I know I look a lot older, but dealing with predators for the past couple of years. And James is 24, so we're both, same generation, both from Houston, and we both hate child predators. So of course I had to take this up and try to spread it for him. So what James allegedly did is he, similar to what we do, he's posing as a minor on a dating app, and the person messaging him was a sex offender, and the sex offender is not just a one-time offender. He's been caught twice, so you just think about how many times he probably hasn't been caught. And for the third time, at least on record, he's reoffending. And he showed up at the meeting spot to go have sex with this 15-year-old girl, and instead of him getting a third victim, or on record getting a third victim, James allegedly shot him and took out the trash for everybody. And the reason why I want people to share this, I don't condone anybody putting hands on these people. Don't throw your life away over a child molester. However, whatever already happened, and James is not somebody who I think is a threat to anybody that isn't preying on children. If you think about it, who would rather have his neighbor, James, or that sex offender? And I don't think he should spend the rest of his life in prison if he did kill this guy, because I don't think he's a threat to anybody that's not a threat to children. So he does have a Give Send Go, and yeah, if he did it, that's definitely not the smartest decision to do, but in the end, should he spend the rest of his life in prison for doing that? I definitely don't think so, and so I donated $100 to it. I shared it on Twitter. If you guys even have $1 or $2 to share, just do it. It helps. It helps out, strengthen numbers, and this is not something we can just let get swept under the rug.
Yeah, we can. And I'm going to throw this on my social media as well, because I posted a story. I didn't realize there was a Give Send Go page to it too, and everyone was backing this man. So I'm sure he's raising some money to help with his legal fees if he's in need of it. So again, if you're listening through audio, Give Send Go, support James Spencer, HTX. Again, support James Spencer, HTX. I'll post it on my Twitter page as well. Alex has it there currently. Alex, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. It's very important. We need this type of work being done. Not many people are willing to do it. I know, hopefully, my police department will do right along with these lessons. I think I don't think, as America, we talk about this enough. I'm disturbed that we are one of the hottest destinations for human trafficking, and I don't understand why, as Americans, we're not disgusted by that fact, that cold hard fact. But I'm thankful that people like you are.
You want to know what we talk?
Crochet.
Crochet, what we talk.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I like that.
It's one of the tools that I use sometimes to talk about the things that I've experienced in life.
Mary. Mary, where were you born? Where are you from originally?
I was born in Pennsylvania to an Amish family. I was the sixth child and the only girl at that point in time. My parents had 3 more sons after me, and I was 5. My 7-year-old cousin, my uncle, and my biological father were all killed in a tragic car buggy accident. My biological mother got remarried when I was 12 to a widower from Wisconsin. But before that happened, we had lived in 2 other Amish settlements. They were all over Amish in western Pennsylvania. He had, from a previous marriage, he had, I believe, 9 boys or 8 boys and 5 girls, something like that. There's like 23 of us with all the step siblings. And then we moved to Wisconsin, and I lived in 2 different old order Amish settlements in Wisconsin. In 2004, when I was 19, I escaped from the abuse that I had experienced. And I ended up reporting it. And there were 5 people in my immediate family that were arrested and prosecuted for crimes they committed. And abuse of all types. There was religious trauma, there was child sexual abuse, there was physical abuse, there was emotional abuse.
Is that typical for the Amish community?
You know, part of what happens when I talk about why I escape is far too often people respond with this, well, but you could have just left on Rumspringa, which is a stereotype, the idea that we get to go out and experience the world and then make a decision without any repercussions.
That's in the Amish community before you're 18, I think?
The thing is that in the 5 settlements I lived in specifically, we didn't even have Rumspringa. We said we went with the young folks, and we didn't get to go out and live in the world and experience the world. And we most certainly didn't have a choice to be in the world and not practicing Amish and not have repercussions for that. And so part of what happens is there's a lot of stereotyping of Amish people. And stereotyping inherently, when you talk about stereotyping people, if we sit there and we say these people are all good or they're all bad, we're inherently harming the very group of people we're talking about. And I say this as somebody who repeatedly hears reports of people who are committing suicide or perhaps that's not quite the right way to say that. Maybe they're dying from suicide because of the lack of access to appropriate resources, I believe.
You will be shocked. The older women on this side can't say.
And often, Rumspringa is a large part of what the stereotyping plays into, because people think that we could have just left. And another part that is greatly misunderstood is that every Amish settlement inherently has different rules. And those rules are, in fact, so diverse. Like in one settlement, they may be allowed to have buggies with battery lights on them. And in a different old order Amish settlement, they may not be allowed to have buggies with battery lights on them. And when we sit there and we say the Amish inherently tends to be that people don't understand that it can be common, it can be uncommon. There are certain things that are inherent. So for the settlements I lived in specifically, when we went with the young folks, as we would say, the ages varied. It would be from like 16, 16 and a half, 17. Those were the typical ages. And what we were expected to do was to find somebody to get married to. We would go to the youth groups that they called the singings on Sunday evenings. And then after that, each settlement had different practices on how they allowed their youth to date. Some settlements allowed bed courtship. Some settlements absolutely did not allow bed courtship. That wasn't the thing that was even acceptable. And the other part is settlements don't necessarily affiliate with each other. So we can't just say the Amish do this. I can say that this was my experience inside of these 5 Amish settlements. And we also can't say, even though I experienced crimes inside of each one of those settlements, I still can't say that all Amish are bad people or that all Amish commit crimes. Rather, it's that Amish are people just like any other group of people, and some of them commit crimes. And when we have a culture of silence, and we have a culture where we abhor or shun education, it tends to create differences in how people understand the world around them, and also when we consider the language differences. I grew up speaking Pennsylvania Dutch, or Dutch that we just called it Dutch, really. And I didn't learn how to speak English until I went to school when I was 6 years old. And so inherently, many Amish people, most Amish people that I know, are English as a second language speakers. And how that affects people when we go out into the dominant culture and we try to assimilate into dominant culture can vary depending on the degree of insularity that the settlement had, that they were a part of, or even depending upon what their family practiced, because sometimes not just the settlement might have different rules from their neighboring settlement. Because the ministry gets together, they might have different church districts, and every spring and every fall, the ministry gets together and they rewrite the rules for that settlement. And inside of each church district, it's the ministry's responsibility to write that rules, the ordnungsbrief. And then they take it to the church, and the church is supposed to have a vote on it, which is kind of like a vote. When I was baptized into the church, I was 17 years old. And I was told that any time there is a vote, I'm not allowed to vote against whatever my stepfather wrote it as, because my vote had to support him to be submissive to the authority of the head of the household. But when you also consider that in 2021, I co-wrote a research study on child sexual abuse within Amish, Mennonites, Anabaptists, and other religious communities, what we discovered without a shadow of a doubt is child sexual abuse does exist within Amish settlements and homes. And then you consider one of the questions that we asked the respondents was, if you were taught that child sexual abuse was a sin, what was it for? And some of the answers were,
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
Not this time, you bastard. Planting mine!
Prep for dust off. We're up in 3 mics. Let's move. There you are. We got the green light. We're going to the war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. We're up in 3. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
Let's get this done. Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster. Mark a drop point for your squad and lead them in. Enemies dropping into the AO.
Can't stop you from what? Camping?
You're getting another chance. Make it count.
Hostile Guardian is active.
Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. Enemy soldier incoming.
Hostile Guardian has been deployed. Hostiles deploy the mosquito.
Gas is moving. Enemies are dropping into the area. Got it. On your tac map. Go get hunting.
That boy Frank dead.
Online.
Get ready. You're redeploying.
Is active.
Taking fire!
That boy Frank got some get back. Don't worry about it, teammate. I ain't got much faith in this team anyways. Y'all seem like you suck ass.
Hostile mosquito is online.
Loadout drop headed your way. You got reinforcements inbound.
Camp it out, dog shit. Come on, Stoner. Camp it out, Stoner.
Rogue signal broadcast detected. Encrypted signal confirmed. Stand by for redeployment. Decrypt the enemy signal by leading an enemy kills.
Hostile counter UAV overhead.
Squad mates redeploying. Well done.
I'll be back to fuck y'all up.
Hostiles deploy the Mosquito. Hostile Guardian have been...
Come on, fuck boys. Camp a little harder, fuck boys.
You're back on station. Go get after it. You're losing ground. Move it.
Hostile Mosquito is online.
Ozone is on. Get your squad to the safe zone. No one gets left behind.
Come on, campers. Touch tips. Touch tips, camper. Come on, camper. You're not sniping, dude. You are straight camping, bro. Don't even try.
Surprised, you know, like me and my mom.
Straight camping, motherfucker, dude.
Real mom, your biological mother, she's out there. So like, I don't know, like I basically, you know, like I froze, you know, like I mean, I cried, you know, like and sure enough, when they take me to the judge and here, and I'm here and her, they
Camp it out, fags.
I just took the chaperone. She was in Florida at that time.
I've never seen so many fucking campers, dude.
Like me, like when I saw that, like I really didn't. I don't know, like I was
camp it out. Camp it out, scary.
Like when I'm speaking to someone, I always could feel like if that person.
We'll help Steiner out. We'll get Steiner's corner. We'll help Steiner in his corner.
You know, just to like basically lie.
Maybe you guys can play swords together.
So I didn't feel that love when I first saw it. And sure enough, I guess it's Dorothy Kirby, and right when I get there, I spoke to my immigration officer, which is basically my case manager, Dorothy Kirby, and I spoke to him and I explained the situation that I wanted to get to know my mother, but she wasn't able to go visit me on the weekends because she was only able to go during her case manager.
Yeah, you guys are beating, dude.
You know, working, so it was so my basically set up special visits. They would come and visit me, and the third things that I have with her is like I asked her why she needed me. What did I do? What did I do to me? So her question was her answer was basically that you know that she and my dad didn't get along, that you know she had a drug problem. And
she had a drug problem.
You know that
she could have hit a powder alone.
So I told her, well, you know, the reason why my family, you know, the family doesn't like me is because, you know, when I was 6 months old, he basically stole me for a beer.
Dang.
You know? And like basically like when I was 6 months old, she had taken me and my brother out, and
this is like my family telling me that she had taken me the brother out, and that she came back like 3 hours later, and she was drunk, and she only came back with my brother. You know, hey, where's the reason? You know, reason.
That sucks.
And she wouldn't, you know, she wouldn't tell none of my family member where I was at. So my brother, you know, around that time,
yeah, I could.
3, 4 years old, he told my dad, hey, I know this.
But I got busters for teammates.
You know, like, my brother,
they fucking suck.
My dad where I was at.
They fucking suck.
They told me I was their old man.
They're busters.
And,
straight up busters.
Like, you know, like, full of shit, like, eating my own shit, you know? So I told that mom. I told it to my mom. I told her, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
What can I do? Why did you tell me?
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
I'm working for you. So she couldn't answer me. She couldn't answer me that question.
Ba-boom, yeah.
So my next question to her was
the death squad is active.
Now, like, are you gonna be here forever, or are you just gonna be here?
Hell no, motherfucker.
So
I hate your ass.
You know, she was gonna stick around now. And I remember it was
Uncle Frank trying to touch my AO.
She didn't come. I was actually
Uncle Frank, you need to leave my AO alone. It's mine, not yours.
She didn't come, so my heart was broken.
I have supplies for you.
Basically, when she didn't come on Thursday, like, that later she, it shattered. And, basically, they're on are you drugs? I went to California for 40. Stayed 3 years. I got out. Yeah, I was got out and I just went all out. This is my neighborhood.
Eat a dick, bitch.
You know, put in work.
He ain't hit as hard. That's got shit fuck room teammates.
That bitch is like, I was like blank. It was just like, I basically, oh bro, I'm going out because couldn't get, other than had me, I couldn't get her to love me. Oh.